Why do we self-sabotage? In other words, why do we do things that we know are not aligned with our long-term goals, but at the end of the day, we still do them? Well, sometimes what I find after working with people is that behind the scenes, what I learn is that we aren't our number one priority. So we're not putting ourselves first before all the other people in our lives. Now in today's video, I want to share with you how to make yourself freaking awesome, AKA your number one priority. Hey guys, I'm Alex, author of the book Master the Day. Now, the one thing I thought about quite a lot is when I've worked with people, why do some people know what to do and do it, while other people know what to do and don't do it? That's been like my primary thesis, my primary focus as I've helped people not only help them lose weight, but also improve their lives. And the one thing that keeps coming up is the invisible affects the visible. So I once had this coaching client that was a super busy mom. Her husband had a disability, so she had to be the primary breadwinner, and she had kids to watch after at home, and she had an absolute ton on her plate. But what ended up happening was that because she had so much on her plate, she never took the time to take care of herself. And when I talked to her, she would just say things that she didn't realize, like, I just don't have the time for this. They need me more than I need to be taking care of myself. So I don't have the luxury of putting myself first. They need me more. So she had the belief that other people needed her more. So of course she would always act in alignment with that belief about her self-identity. This goes back to that Maxwell Maltz concept that our self-identity precedes action. So if she believed that she really needed to put them first because there was no way she could do what would help her and them, since she really believed that, her actions therefore were in alignment with that thing she believed. And so there was no way we could get her to improve her results because that mindset, that belief over there was so stuck in her head, we couldn't unwind it. We couldn't unwind it because it was her identity. It was a belief, a mindset, and then that became who she was, and then her actions. So the first thing to observe is, do you have some kind of inner narrative about this? Why aren't you making yourself your priority? Do you believe you don't deserve it? Do you believe someone else deserves it more? Do you believe it's not important? There's plenty of successful people that don't believe their fitness or their health are important. Maybe that's the belief that's behind it. Because if you think fitness is a waste of time or relationships are a waste of time, you're not going to do anything in order to cultivate those habits that lead you to be successful in that domain of life. So the second thing to focus on here is to do a belief dump. So a lot of meditative traditions, the work of Byron Katie is based off of lots of meditation, self-inquiry traditions. And she often asks a series of questions based around a belief like, I don't have time or I don't deserve to be fit when my family or my mom or my dad needs my help more than I do. And so she asks you a series of questions based on this method of essentially spiritual self-inquiry. And the first one is, well, what is the belief essentially? 2, is it really true? 3, how do I know that it's true? And then 4 is something along the lines of, if you didn't have that belief, who would you be? So if we have the belief that, you know what, I can't be successful in my career and help my family and also fit. And then we say, well, is that really true? Like, do you know it 100% to be true? Do you not know one person in the world who's both fit and is successful? And then you think, well, I know one person or I know a couple people, and you start thinking and you're like, I don't really know if this is completely true. And then once you observe the narrative in that sense, you let in a little bit of space for this new belief to pop up. Well, okay, maybe my belief isn't true. So you've not only put the spotlight on the belief, you've shown yourself maybe this belief is not even true as I think it is. And then you ask yourself the habit change question, which is, well, who would I be without this belief? So if this is where I am now, and over there is who I could be if I change something about my habits or my routine, who could I be? And if you say, you know what, well, if I believe that I have the time and the will to both be successful and help my family or my parents, and I can be fit, and I can be cultivated and happy, well, what would my life look like? Well, I'd probably, first of all, look what I want to look like in the mirror. I'd probably have a ton of energy. I'd probably be happier in the morning because I wouldn't quite be as depressed and have this mopiness about me. And then you begin to see that, wow, if I shine the spotlight on the belief that's behind the habit, And then I say, well, do I know it's really true? And maybe the belief's not 100% true. And then from there, if you introduce just the possibility, the 1% possibility that maybe there's a possibility of changing, and I can see based on this exercise that yes, I would be a better, happier person. And if we can see that yes, if I free myself of this belief, maybe I can be a better, a happier person, a fitter person, a more successful person, then you begin to see the value in changing the narrative behind who you think you are that's playing out in your life. And then the third part of becoming freaking awesome and making yourself a priority is to then embody some of these new habits behind the person you want to be. So this is the new self-identity, which hopefully after doing a little bit of self-inquiry, you've realized, well, this belief is not helping me become the kind of person I want to be. Maybe I'm successful, but I'm really unhealthy. Or maybe I'm fit, but I'm really unsuccessful. Maybe I'm successful and I don't take care of my parents or my siblings or my friends. So once you start to realize, okay, well, what are the new habits of this improved me? Maybe you realize that, hey, you know what? I'm used to being a good person, so I stay after work for 2 hours every day to clean up after the messes of my coworkers. And maybe what I need for me to put myself first is I need to leave work 2 hours early because I usually leave at 7 p.m. And instead of picking up after everyone else, whether it's my family or whether it's something at work, maybe what I need to do with those 2 hours is I need to drive home early, go to the gym for an hour, and then use 30 minutes to cook a healthy meal for the week. And so once you begin to realize that I have this identity is caused by beliefs, the beliefs lead to my habits, which affect my actions, and then maybe these habits and beliefs, this mindset, this identity is not creating the physical kind of person I want to become. And once you outline the habits and the self-identity of the awesome version of yourself, you might be amazed at what can happen. So before you go, this is a really deep video. Like this is really, 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 really deep personal development stuff, almost spiritual development. And this is the essence of change. You know, whether I'm trying to help people lose weight or get more success in their life, we have to change our identity, because if our beliefs don't change, our habits and our actions don't change, and we end up self-sabotaging. So before you go, I want you to leave a comment there below and let me know for you, whether it is regarding fitness or something else in your life. Tell me what is a couple habits aligned with the new self-identity of the kind of person you want to become. Let me know right there. All right, guys, before I wrap up each video now, I'm going to tell you one random thing about myself or my life. The random thing for today is very short. I'm actually filming this in a cemetery. Kind of creepy, but not really. Sometimes it's the most quiet, beautiful place I can actually find where no one will bother you, and the birds are singing, and there's lots of nature. Now, of course, to keep in touch with me, there are 3 main ways. The first thing is I want you to come over to my site, modernhealthmonk.com, get that free guide, which is 5 daily habits to help you lose your next 20 to 30 pounds. You'll also get a free email course there. Check out my book, Master the Day, on Amazon. It's about the daily success habits I learned interviewing people that lost over 100 pounds and kept it off years later. I'll send you a free $100 bonus course if you get that book, and send me your receipt over on my site. And then finally, come on over, click the monk to subscribe and watch the last video, and I will catch you very soon in the next video.